And now a special segment inspired by my good friend Vidya James, who recently rated all the 3D Zelda dungeons. I would like to also rate all the 3D Zelda dungeons on this tier list for you tonight before we end off stream. So let's do that, shall we? We have the rankings here. We have S, A, B, C, D, and E. S being the best, E being the worst. I don't know where I want to go with any of these, so I'm just going to go in the order that they're presented to me right here. The first thing I see is Tower of the Gods. Now, honestly, earlier in my life, I would say Tower of the Gods would be one of my favorite Wind Waker dungeons. Over time, I've started to like it a little bit less. It is definitely not an S tier dungeon. And I don't even think it's an A. I honestly am leaning more towards a B. I do really enjoy it because I like the aesthetic. I think it's a quintessential Zelda dungeon. I like the boss. I think he's really fun to battle. I like the Beamos. I like the general enemies. I think that having the boat in the dungeon is really neat. But it is a very simple dungeon and it's very linear. So yeah, that is Tower of the Gods. Now, next is Ancient Cistern from Skyward Sword. Many people don't know about why this dungeon is so cool. Not only is it thematically beautiful, it has one of the best bosses in the entire Zelda series, called Lactos. It is stunning. It is water-based, but it's very fun water-based. I think that the mechanics work well. It has a lot of unique little set pieces, like the thread that hangs down. I'm going to put Ancient Cistern to S tier, absolutely. Next up, we have Fire Sanctuary. This is the Skyward Sword dungeon. This one I'm not as fond of. It's kind of, I don't know, it feels slow, but also fast. I can't really talk too much about it because I don't remember it severely, but there's a cool bit at the end where you have to like do a trust fall onto a platform. There's a lot of like shooting like those little water droppy thingies and making platforms. I'd put it in a solid C. But next is Arbiters Grounds, where I'm going to tell you early, it's another S tier for me. Arbiters Grounds, again, has an excellent atmosphere and theme. It has an excellent boss in Stalord, which has a psych out ending, which is not common in Zelda, but very cool. It has one of the best items in the series, the spinner, which provides some of the coolest rooms in the game. The battles are a little bit weak in it, and there's like some stuff with like pose, and it's a little, it can be a little bit not great. You know, I might put into A. I'm gonna put into A for now, but it might come up to S. City in the Sky is very good. The boss is very lackluster. It's cool looking, but it's very weak in terms of actually enjoyment. The dragon that flies around, I'm not a huge fan of it. But it is very aesthetically pleasing, and I think it kind of falls into Tower of the Gods territory, where I think it has a lot of cool stuff and it looks good, and theoretically it's good, but something just, it doesn't, the mojo isn't there, I think. What is this dungeon? What is this? Is this the Forest Temple from Twilight Princess? I think it is. Yeah, so this is Forest Temple from Twilight Princess. This is the first dungeon in the game, and it's kind of a slow dungeon. There is a cool battle against Ook, and the boss Diabob is kind of mediocre, but as a first dungeon, it does teach you the mechanics and has some cool features with the monkeys. And the Gale Boomerang is a cool item. I would hazard this one into the B territory as well. Goron Mines, I used to dislike a lot more. I would honestly probably have put it up here if I was, but I'm honestly feeling more like the C tier territory for Goron Mines. It's gotten better over time. It has some beautiful, wonderful landscapes, like the outdoor area where you have to snipe all the bokoblins. It's a cool dungeon to get the bow in, but it has a lot of very slow bits with the iron boots. The boss is a joke, and the mini boss is just okay. I would put it down in C tier. Lakebed, I feel similarly, because it also has a boss that's kind of mediocre. And the mini boss is the giant frog. I don't like that guy that much. What item do you get here? The claw shot. All right. Welcome to B. Any dungeon that gives you a claw shot feels pretty good to me. Forbidden Woods. Forbidden Woods from the Wind Waker. I like how it feels. I like the boss. Kalidamos is very good, as is the person with the username. The mini boss being a single Mothra, well, I don't know, is okay. The boomerang is a cool item. Very Dake Leaf dependent, but that's cool because the Dake Leaf is a cool item. The Dake Leaf is a sick item. I wouldn't put it higher than C. I'd hazard it going down to D. Palace of Twilight is mediocre at best. Xant's a cool boss fight, but everything else about it screams boring. The hands are kind of creepy. It has a cool aesthetic, but that doesn't save it from being pretty mediocre. Snow Peak Ruins from Twilight Princess is a great dungeon, but it's not for me. I am going to admit that. The Blizzetta fight is really cool. The ball and chain is a cool item. The mini boss, it's not really a mini boss. Oh, there is a mini boss. It's the Iron Knuckle. Iron Knuckle is okay. The Church of Death is in this dungeon. It has some cool puzzles. It actually has some really cool puzzles. Yep. Hey, I actually like it a lot more than I thought. Temple of Time for Twilight Princess also is like Tower of the Gods done right, and it goes in A. I don't have much more to share on it other than it's Tower of the Gods done right. Because you go all the way up the tower, and then, or all the way up Temple of Time, then all the way down. Very fun. I enjoy that. What's up, Onion Man? What do we have next? This is Hyrule Castle from Twilight Princess. It's gonna stay in D tier. It has a cool aesthetic, but I don't. The rainy outside is boring. The inside with a bunch of dark nights is neat, and it uses some cool items, but it doesn't drive home anything for me. This is for Forsaken Fortress. I'm trying to say Forbidden. It's Forsaken Fortress from the Wind Waker. It's going to be higher than Palace of Twilight and Hyrule Castle, just because I love the boss fight against Helmarok King. I love that in this you also have a Phantom Ganon fight that's really fun. I really, really enjoy the stealth sections. The stealth sections are fun, especially once you learn how to master them. I think there's a lot of cool stuff about Forsaken Fortress. It's not really good inside the traditional Zelda dungeon sense, but I enjoy it more than I enjoy Palace of Twilight. Ganon's Tower from the Wind Waker, though, is nothing. It's Trials, and I don't like Trials. What's next? Wind Temple from the Wind Waker. This one has the boss Moldjera and the mini boss Orange Wizrobe. This is the best dungeon in Wind Waker, in my opinion. It does have some awkward mechanics, but once you understand the dungeon, this is a dungeon that the more you play it and the more you understand it, the better it becomes, in my opinion. And I really enjoy it. I love the center, the whole center column that you have to go up and down. I really enjoy Wind Temple. I really think it does get better over time. It's also the least linear of the dungeons in Wind Waker. I would hazard Wind Waker or Wind Temple gets a nice B, maybe an A. It's gonna stay in B for now. But it has to be higher than Tower of the Gods. Next up is Dodongos Cavern from Ocarina of Time. The boss is King Dodongo. King Dodongo is an okay boss. It's probably my favorite of the 3 child dungeons. It's simple, but it also has like a lot of branching paths with a lot of cool secrets. A lot of unnecessary content, which is good, I think, in a dungeon. And I love the set piece of the giant Dodongo. I'm gonna hazard this one into A. In fact, I feel strongly that it's a good dungeon. Next up is Dragon Roost Cavern from the Wind Waker. Boss Goma. Mini boss, a single moblin. You get the grappling hook here, and there's some fun grappling hook mechanics, and grappling hook is a fun item, but it also is kind of weak because it kind of, yeah, it's a starter dungeon. It guides you into things. I wouldn't honestly put it past another B. I feel like it's around the same territory here. It's good though. I enjoyed it. It's fun. Next is not Fire Sanctuary. This is, what's the name of it? Don't tell me. I always have a hard time with the Skyward Sword dungeons. It's Elden Fire. What's it called? What's it called? Tell me. You can tell me. I've forgotten the name of it. The Ouch Place from Skyward Sword. That is not the name of it. It is not called the Ouch Place. Nobody knows. All right, I'm just gonna do it then. Also find out the one is Skyview Temple, and then the other one's I don't know what this one is. Earth Temple. Oh, this one's technically called the Earth Temple, right? Okay, so the Earth Temple from Skyward Sword sees us getting our bombs as an item. We fight off Scaldera, the boss, and a mini boss is a couple of Zalfo. It's kind of like, it really is trying to be the Dodongos Cavern of Skyward Sword, and it's a fine dungeon, but it doesn't leap out at me as anything exciting, and it stays in C. The Fall of the Sphere thing was cool. It was cool how you could follow the sphere, but it doesn't draw me in. Yeah. Here's the Fire Temple. The Fire Temple from Ocarina of Time is very good. It has a lot of cool set pieces. The boss, Volvagia, is great. The mini boss, Flare Dancer, is okay. I really like Fire Temple. I'm gonna do something right now. Something big. Okay, so bear with me here. I don't know where I think the split should be. I think the split should be like... that. All right. Sorry, I had to make some big moves. So that way I can put Fire Temple into B tier and feel good about it. All right, now let's talk about Forest Temple from Ocarina of Time. Forest Temple from Ocarina of Time is my favorite dungeon in the entire Legend of Zelda series. It has keys. It has a cool mini boss with a couple of bad boy Stalfo who come out of nowhere. You got 3 Stalfo in general. You get the bow, one of the coolest items in the Zelda series. You fight off Phantom Ganon, who's brilliant. One of the best songs in the entire series of the entirety of the game with the dungeon music. There's a lot going for this dungeon. It has a cool mechanic with hunting down the pose. It hits every one of my points. Aesthetic, boss, rooms, and puzzles. There's good puzzles. There's like, you know, flipping the rooms and unspinning them. There's the checkerboard room. There's a lot of cool things in Forest Temple. Even the first room, you have to climb up a tree to get to a key. Brilliant. Wonderful. I love the Forest Temple, and it gets full marks without a doubt. Ganon's Tower Castle from Ocarina of Time is higher than Ganon's Tower, but it's going to be a D. I don't like trials. Sorry. And next I see Great Bay Temple from Majora's Mask. Great Bay Temple is a fantastic dungeon. It is wonderful. I love Great Bay Temple. I love the reversing the water mechanic. I think that Yorg is a fun boss battle on the N64 version, and I think on the 3D version it's a little bit, it's fine. It's better than I thought originally. I think it's fantastic. I really like it. I'm hesitant to put it in S. I think I'm going to put it into S at the end of S. I think that's where I'd put it. The Deku tree is S or C tier. It's fine. It doesn't win any marks, but doesn't lose any marks either. It is exactly good. Now, Hyrule Castle from Breath of the Wild is a very interesting one for me to place because it is not like any other Zelda dungeon. I think there is technically a key in it or something to like open up one door. Maybe not. Actually, I don't think so. It's weird. It's really stupid. It's different, but it's really good. It has first of all, boss music, great music, lots of cool battles. It has a few cool puzzles too. There are puzzles interspersed within the temple. Like there's a whole shrine that appears within the dungeon itself. I don't know. I really like Hyrule Castle. Hyrule Castle is great, and I'm going to put it into A, despite it being so unconventional. Next up is a dungeon that wait, that's not a dungeon. What is this? Why is this here? This is Akana Castle, which is not the next dungeon, which is Stone Tower. Akana Castle is not a dungeon. It is a mini area that is kind of dungeon-like. But if I had to rate it, it would be a solid D tier. It's kind of annoying. Anyways, next is Stone Tower Temple, which I know Jamie does not like that much. Well, let's put it this way. Jamie says from a casual perspective, it sucks. I love Stone Tower Temple from all perspectives. It is an S tier for me. I think that it's one of the crowning achievements. In fact, I'm going to do this. It's one of the crowning achievements in a Zelda dungeon. It has not only a really cool like area and mini boss, it has a cool boss. I love. That's Wind Waker Earth Temple, bro. Then where's Stone Tower? Sorry, Stone Tower. Sorry, I saw the big face and I got confused. Thank you for pointing it out. But yes, no, I love Stone Tower Temple. Stone Tower Temple has a cool boss, a cool mini boss. Mini boss can be a little bit of a jerk, but great aesthetic, great song, cool item in the light arrows. But more than that, it's just kind of neat. There's a lot of really interesting areas of the room, and it uses all of your mask powers really well, which is something that the other dungeons can't say as much. Okay, now Earth Temple from Wind Waker. My mistake. It's fine. It's good. I like Medley in the dungeon. I think that the mirror shield mechanics are way better than they ever were done in Spirit Temple, but it's very linear. It's a little bit, yeah. I like it a lot, but I think it's gonna be like the top of C tier. This is the moon. This is not a dungeon. It has trials, which I would if we're counting it as a dungeon, it goes here. This is Jabu's Belly, one of the most mediocre dungeons in the entire Zelda series. It's got some cool stuff. I do like the giant octo fight. Baronade's a fun boss battle. I'd put it at the top of D tier. It's also yucky. This is Linnea Mining Facility, the electric dungeon from Skyward Sword. Linnea Mining Facility is great. It's really fun. There are some slow, boring, annoying bits that I'm not a fan of. But overall, the boss is kind of mediocre in that it's Molder Arc. Sorry, I had to become the monster. But it's fine. I wouldn't put it higher than B. It has some good stuff going for though. Sandship alternatively gets to go into A because it has one of the coolest mechanics. The boss battle is fine. The mini boss though is where the deliciousness is with Scatterville. Scatterville is a great mini boss. Yeah. The boss room is empty. Yeah, that's a fun little twist on the formula. The Shadow Temple is next. Shadow Temple is an S tier person, but this dungeon is okay. I like the Shadow Temple. Bongo Bongo is a great boss. Dead Hand is a rehashed mini boss. Not a fan of that. It has some cool rooms, but it also has some annoying mechanics. I would not put it above Fire Temple. I'd put it at the end of B. This is, please help me with the name of this one. Because it's Sky something. Because the first one's Skyview Temple, which I'll do Skyview. Somebody tell me what the name of this one is. Skyview Temple, Skykeep, thank you. Skyview Temple is the first dungeon of Skyward Sword, and I dislike it. Jamie gave it high marks, but I remember it being, I hate the song in it. It's what it sounds. It's honky, it's weird. The boss is Girahim, though. Beautiful. I love that. But I don't know. The beetle is a cool item. The beetle is a cool item. I would not put it above C. Skykeep, though, has slide puzzles to get the Triforce. No. Not if my boy Arbiters is down here. A. Nexus Snowhead. Snowhead has a big giant ice column in the middle from Majora's Mask. Goat is an excellent boss. The mini boss being the Wizrobes is that's so fine. It's fine. The music is okay. The atmosphere, though, is really great. I'd put this as a solid B. You know? I'd hazard an A on a good day, but today's not a good day. Today's a fantastic day. Spirit Temple is an A. I love the Twin Rolla fight. The music is fantastic. I love that there's a child and adult two-parter mixed together. I love there's plenty of dark nuts to fight. Iron Knuckles, rather. I like that Spirit Temple in general just has a lot of cool puzzles and a lot of cool mini battles. There's the Anubis that you have to fight, which is really cool. There is the two hands, you know, the one hand you got to get on, you got to do-do-do-do-do-do, and then you got to go over there and get the chest. It's really cool. Skykeep is trials that you move around is what I said. Oh, when you say it like that. Just kidding, it's great trials. These are boring trials. Good trials. This is Varudanya, the weakest of the dungeons in Breath of the Wild, in my opinion, but still enjoyable. I would put it at as a solid C tier. No, D. Take that. Just to show you I'm in charge. This is looks like Ruta. Varuta is a good dungeon, and I'd put it at a B because it has water mechanics that are pretty neat. Has some fun puzzles, and the fight against Water Blight Ganon is fun. Water Temple is a great dungeon, and people who say otherwise are dumb. They dislike the Iron Boots option, which I agree, which is why it's not getting S tier. I think that Water Temple is a great Zelda dungeon. It has a lot of fun stuff in it. The boss in Morpha is really good. Morpha is fantastic. The mini boss Dark Link is fantastic. The song is fantastic. The aesthetic is great. The actual water raising mechanics are a little iffy. They're a little iffy, but they are largely fixed in 3D, as well as, you know, if you're just playing the randomizer or something. Thank you, Junior. No, I think I turned down the sound of alerts. It should be fixed now. I really like the Water Temple. This is Woodfall. This is the first dungeon in Majora's Mask, and it does kind of suffer from first dungeon problems, but I don't really like it that much. I really don't. I think it's fun. It's fine. I think that the boss in Adowa is really cool, but I wouldn't put him past C. Are Naboris and Meadow missing? I think so, because what is this dungeon? Is this supposed to be Giga Hideout? I can't tell what this one's supposed to be. Well, this is supposed to be Giga Hideout. It goes in E tier. Actually, no, I'll put it in D. If I had to rate the other ones that aren't here for some reason, I'd put Va Meadow in A. I'd put Va Naboris in B. I swap those. Naboris in A, Meadow in B, and I'd put the DLC dungeon up here. I'd put in S. I really like the DLC dungeon in Breath of the Wild. It makes me very happy. It has a lot of cool puzzles, a lot of cool battles, and the boss is fantastic, and good music. It hits all the points. So there you go. That is my definitive... Oh, I can't zoom anymore. 3D Zelda Dungeon tier list. And I'm happy with it. In bottom tier, we have the Palace of Twilight, we have Hyrule Castle, and we also have Ganon's Tower from the Wind Waker. In S tier, we have the Forest Temple, Ancient Cistern, Stone Tower Temple, and Great Bay Temple. Overall, I don't disagree with anything except for Tower of the Gods. Yeah, Jamie wants Tower of the Gods to be down here. I really like the vibe of Tower of the Gods. I like the boss. I think that it has a lot of fun stuff going for it. The command melody does take a little bit, but, you know, whatever. Ocarina of Time Water Temple is right here in A. I really enjoy that one. Dodongos Cavern being an A is the only thing I disagree with. Well, I really like Dodongos Cavern. I think it's a really good early dungeon. Cool. Cool. So there you go. Those are my rankings. Many have them, but that one is mine. Hey, I promised you I'd show you the full camera so you guys can see everybody's names. Hold on, I can't really angle the camera at all, but you can see people's names. There are more names up here that are slightly off camera, but yes, you can. I promised I'd show you guys an update on the wall of names and how I have everybody's names on their amiibo that they have claimed. There's Ganon 11. You can also see Ganon 11 tried to get all 4 of the Metroid amiibo, but Dark Argo got in here. So there you go. Okay. Next on the list of to-dos, we got to do a raid. And I don't know who to raid. At 11:43 at night. I don't want to raid Proton John tonight. He's got a lot of viewers at the moment. I'd rather raid down than raid up tonight. Sometimes I raid up, but why don't we raid Shadow? I haven't raided Shadow in a while. He always raids me, so let's go say hi. I'm probably not saying it. I'm doing until credits. So we're gonna do a raid on Shadow Temple tonight, guys. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Go give him some love. He's a great friend of mine, and I care a lot about him. And before you go, be sure to, if you haven't already, follow the Twitch channel. Go over to Twitter and follow there. And if you missed a stream, go to Super MC Streams on YouTube, and you can catch up on the archive. I will upload tonight's stream tomorrow, and I'll upload last night's stream tonight. Thank you all. Thank you guys for being great friends. Thank you all for being wonderful. And I'll be back with you to Wednesday, not tomorrow, Wednesday, for a new Super Mario Brothers Wii. Bye, everyone.